Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest live stream. Truth is what we need to talk. Truth bomb is here. We cannot just sit here willy-nilly and just pretend everything is okay. I get annoyed, honestly. I get annoyed when Chelsea fans they decide not to say the truth. They tippy-toe around. They want to just act like everything is rosy. It's not rosy. Even when we were winning, people will throw, oh, you weren't saying all of this when we were winning, when we were going through the win. No, believe me, a lot of us were saying this. A lot of us were saying this. And a lot of us were saying that Maresca is doing some mad stuff here. He's finding some solutions that probably didn't warrant. And in between some of those wins, we got away with some of those matches as well. Defensive issues were always there. Lack of striking ability at times was always there. How many times as a fan base did we say that, look, all of this is going to catch up on us because we can't continuously outscore the opposition. Our defense is not strong enough. So don't be sitting there like a naive fan and say, oh, none of these conversations were taking place when we were winning. Well, of course, when you're winning, you don't want to create a massive chaos, but the information was being sent. Even Enzo Maresca was giving us the information, even throughout when we were winning, that this team is not ready. This team is not ready. Now we go with 4 winless matches. But it's not even about that. That we will touch base on later on. What it's about at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, the truth bomb is really in regards to squad building. A lot of us are hoping that next season that we're going to have a team that is going to be ready to compete for the Premier League title. Some of us are thinking this season minimum top 4, get back into Champions League, and next season Premier League. Can any of you guys sitting there, hand on your heart, tell me that we can compete for the Premier League next season with the kind of squad building that we're doing? Now, don't get me wrong. There's some good players in the squad, of course. But look at all the other nonsense stuff that we're doing on a regular basis. The nonsense foolery stuff that we're doing. And we lap it up. Oh, but it's business. It's business. It's a good profit. It's a quick profit. Owners need to start focusing on Chelsea Football Club first and foremost as winning stuff. You can win and do business together. It's not one or the other. Right now, it's a little bit lopsided. It's business, business, business. It's not really focused on winning something. We are 3rd season under the new ownership, We are 3rd season. Let me paint a picture. Let me paint a quick picture, and then we're going to paint an even bigger picture. First, the quick picture. I don't give 2 rats' ass in regards to Renato Vega leaving. For me, I don't really care. I never ever thought Renato Vega was going to be some sort of a superstar. I fell into the hype of him in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. I thought, wow, structurally big. He seems like a pretty decent person. Good characteristics. Yeah, maybe he can be something. But very quick, I realized very quick when he first played in the Premier League, might have been against Wolves or I can't remember, early days. You could see this brother's pace was lacking. His awareness was lacking. Everything was just zooming past him. And then since then, you could see he's got a lot to develop. So Renato Vega leaving, wanting to go to Dortmund, that's not what I'm worried about. I couldn't care less. Him agreeing to go to Dortmund 6 months into coming to Chelsea Football Club. 6 months. I don't care about that one bit. That player can go because he was never going to make it big at Chelsea. But what I do care about is what type of nonsense squad are we building for Enzo Maresca? What are we doing here? Renato Vega is just one example. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, Mark Guiu, Omari Kellyman, have we forgotten? João Felix, our manager, literally every press conference coming out and saying, I can't play João Felix constantly. I cannot because I have Cole Palmer. My problem is when our directors are making these decisions, are you even talking to Enzo Maresca? Are you even asking him, brother, how are you going to use these players? Are these players going to work out for you? Tell me exactly how you vision us playing. A lot of people are like, oh, nah, he's being stubborn. He needs to be a little bit more pragmatic. He needs to deal with what he's been given with. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. Good managers, it doesn't work that way. Good managers want to follow their philosophy, want to follow what they believe in, their ideas. People say, oh, he needs to change the ideas. You can't change the idea in the first 6 months. Man needs to come in and play his football. And if some of you guys don't want that, then you need this guy to go then. Basically, what you're saying is get the manager out. How are we in a position 6 months later where Renato Vega is saying, oh, but I want to be a CB. I never wanted to be a left back or an inverted, midfielder, inverted fullback. How have we come to that decision? Why wasn't this talked about in the recruitment? When they are doing negotiations, when they are doing interview with the player, did they not set out what the vision is for the player? What did they say to KDH? What did they actually talk to KDH about? Oh, but people say, oh, he knew him from Leicester. That's Maresca several times, and it's been briefed by Fabrizio Romano and many other sources. He never wanted KDH. He never even wanted João Felix. It's been reported. Why are we giving this manager players that he can't trust? He doesn't feel that they're good enough in his system. Managers asking for a striker. Managers asking for proper defenders. Do you know what the crazy? Now let's build the bigger picture. Yeah? These owners, they came in, they decimated the place. Got rid of everything that this football club knew and built, that won trophies previously. They got rid of everyone. And they brought all heap of their new people. No problems. Got rid of a manager that can win trophies. Brought in a manager that has never won trophies. Then sacked that manager to bring in a manager that has not that much of a managerial pedigree in a short term, no problems. Then they brought in Pochettino. Once again, a manager that has won nothing. I don't know what they said to him. They brought him in only for the manager to then disagree with the directors and owners by the end of the season. Now they brought in Enzo Maresca, and once again, they're just feeding him these players that don't seem to make any sense for him. And through all of this time, they've bought hella players. 1 billion worth of players, £1 billion worth of players. The list is so long, it's even funny. David Dutra Fofana, Cesare Cassidy. These are just some names. There's so many. So many players we've let go of as well. Some were good, don't get me wrong. Some were brilliant. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. Some were perfect. Some not so much. Rudiger, for instance, we should have tried our level best to keep a defender. Now we have a bunch of defenders not good enough. Let's start from the back. This is the squad that Chelsea fans, they want to tell me that we should be competing for the Premier League next season. All right, let's test that theory out. Are we ready to compete? Are we ready to compete? Let's test that theory out. Are we ready to compete for the Premier League next season? David Washington, another one. Goalkeeper. All of that money spent. All of that money spent. All of the goalkeepers that we got. How many goalkeepers? At least 10. At least 10 different goalkeepers we got. Not one is capable of being touted as a top-class goalkeeper. Not one. So you screwed up there. All that money spent. Number 2, defenders. All of those defenders. Hella defenders. And now we are in a situation, we're going to try and get rid of some of those defenders. Desarcy, not good enough. He's up for sale. Buddy Shu, never been good enough. I'm sorry, never. I don't care what we saw under Graham Potter for 6 months. No, that's not a good history for me. Chelsea Football Club needs a solid defender. Buddy Shu, rubbish. Levi Colwill, even someone who I rated, even his people say, when you ask them, what's Levi Colwill's best defensive attribute? He's good on the ball. Brother, that's not defensive attribute. None of them can defend wide areas. None of them can defend 1v1. None of them have any superior defensive qualities. These are the defenders that we have. And we wonder why we keep, conceding goals after goals after goals. Tosin on a free, no problems. Maybe a squad player. Not good enough to be a starter. I'm sorry. Now we're bringing in kids. Anselmino. No problems. Bring in a kid. But we're going to ask a kid to help us get top 4. To help us compete for the Premier League next season. We're going to ask a kid. Wesley Fofana, every other day, he's arguing on social media, on Instagram, putting out stories, saying he's going to be back in 4 to 6 weeks' time, when our manager is saying, brother, you're gone, you're finito, you're not coming back for at least another 4 months. Fullbacks are not fullbacking anymore. Fullbacks are inverting, no problems. I got no issues with that. Enzo Maresca, that's your style. You want fullbacks to invert. Cucurella is the only one that can do that. Was this not talked about pre-season? Was this not talked about? Did Enzo Maresca not sit down with the directors and say, look, guys, this is how I play my football. This is what I like in my fullbacks' characteristics. I like my fullbacks inverting. I like my fullbacks to be in the half spaces. I like my fullbacks to be the winger. I like my fullbacks to be everything. Fullbacks are not really fullbacking. Fullbacks are everything. And then we expect Malo Gusto to do that role. And we wonder, why is this guy flopping? We want Reece James to maybe do that role, but the brother is consistently injured, and now we're trying to fit him in sometimes at LCB, this, that, the other. Who's looking into all of this? They identify Renato Vega, thinking he can potentially do that. Now he's coming out and saying, I never wanted to do that. Never, I never wanted. He's coming out and saying, and there's reports going around that he doesn't like all of this inverted stuff. He wants to be CB because that's what he does in Portugal. He wants to go for the World Cup. And that's what he wants. He wants to play regular football. Brother wants to go to Dortmund, who are struggling in the Bundesliga. Do you understand? People are saying, but Miz, he's a backup. Why does he want to go? Why is he so frustrated? Well, don't ask me. Don't ask me. Why haven't the directors had proper conversations with this player? Why haven't they set up the right expectation? Was Maresca part of any of this conversation? Keenan Dewsbury Hall in midfield. Keenan Dewsbury Hall was brought in for what? For what? Oh, it's business. It's business. It's business. Well, stuff your business, because do you know what? In this second half of the season, I hope the business helps us out. I truly hope the business helps us out. This second half of the season, Nottingham Forest is already ahead. Some people are like, oh, what are you complaining about, Miz? We're fourth. We're fourth. You're so stupid. If you can't seem to understand the situation, we are fourth by a whisker. We are holding on now. And I thought this January window, we're going to be able to get rid of a lot of the players and bring in maybe 2 or 3 that can actually help out Enzo Maresca. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, he doesn't even make the squad. And he goes around on social media liking and retweeting when fans are saying, yeah, he's been mistreated. Enzo Maresca could have treated him better. We have a distinct problem in our midfield where Romeo Lavia is not always available, and Romeo Lavia is so important to the cause. Enzo Maresca has many times said midfield, physicality, robust pace. We have a player at Strasbourg, Andre Santos, just chilling. Just chilling. And we don't think about bringing him back because we don't want to disrupt his progress. But then we want to quickly link ourselves to Kobbie Mainoo. We want to link ourselves to Kobbie Mainoo, and that's coming from legitimate sources inside Chelsea. Up front, Mudryk. Why was this guy bought? Why haven't we parted ways with him long before all of this drug doping drama that he's involved in? Why didn't we try and get rid of him in the summer? Didn't we have enough evidence by then that it's not good enough? He's not good enough. What did we want to see more? Stupid decision to bring him in. I'm certain it was political. I'm certain. And now he's caught up in this doping issue, and he's most likely going to get suspended. He's most likely going to get banned, right? And we've been sold, oh, but don't worry, next season, Estevan Willian. Again, a kid. You want me to get excited about it? Look, he's an exciting prospect. Don't get me wrong. He's a definite exciting prospect. Yes. You want me to say Estevan Willian is going to make us Premier League title contenders next season? He's going to help us to compete for the Premier League. Estevan Willian. And we just, all of us, just going to lap it up. How long after spending all of this money? We don't even have a striker to compete with Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson goes to work and he has no competition. Nicholas Jackson gets to work and has zero competition. He is loving life. He's thinking, no one's good enough to take my position. How are we in this place? How are we in this place? 3 seasons in, how has this squad come to this position? And when we wanted a striker, we got Mark Guiu. Another kid. Okay, you want a kid? At least get a kid with some level of credibility. A kid that's actually already played good number of minutes at the highest level. Then you got a bunch of number 10s. You got Nkunku. You got Jean Felix. You got Cole Palmer. You've thrown all of these players to the manager. The manager is coming out literally saying, I can't play all of these players at once. I cannot. I'm sorry. I can't play Cole Palmer and Nkunku, Jean Felix, all of them at once. I have to sometimes use Nkunku as a striker and he flops. And now Nkunku is in a position where he doesn't want to be at the football club either. How have we got ourselves in this situation? What was the conversation in the preseason? When we had the team sort out, what was the conversation? Where did we picture a player like Nkunku was going to play? Someone saying, Miz, what's bad about having Nkunku and Jean Felix? Look at Real Madrid. They've got a lot of depth. They've got a lot of, backup players. You really think Nkunku and Jean Felix, they came to Chelsea Football Club to be backup players? They came here to be backup players. Jean Felix, when he signed the contract at Chelsea, he said, I'm happy to be a backup. Yeah, I'm happy to be rotational. Don't worry about using me. Use me whenever you want to. All of us said from the get-go, why Jean Felix? Why? They were going for Omar Dion. Made sense. Striker. Why Jean Felix? No. Now we've been thrown Jean Felix and now the manager has another headache. How can I give this guy minutes? And this guy obviously didn't come to Chelsea Football Club to play against Morecambe. This guy obviously didn't come to Chelsea Football Club to just play Conference League. Nkunku. Why are we actively looking to get rid of Nkunku in this window? We're on the 13th of January already. See, we still got idiots in the live chat. We got hella idiots in this fan base. I'm so sorry to say, man. A lot of dumb people in this fan base. A lot of dumb people. It's opened my eyes up that we live amongst a lot of dumb idiots in this fan base. Oh, give credit to the directors about the money that they've made. They've flipped a player within 6 months for money. Yeah. Go and shove that money up your backside, man. Like, that's going to help us. You know, we don't have a front of shirt sponsorship. People talk about money from players. We don't have a front of shirt sponsorship yet. Half of the season gone. We don't have a front of shirt sponsorship. Just FYI for all the people that are so excited about money. People talk about money. We didn't even need to spend all of this amount. We didn't even need to spend all of this amount. There was no need. Someone's saying, oh, Miz, you never wanted Samu. Yeah, sure. I probably didn't know who this guy was and I might not have favored him. But I did favor a striker. What you need to understand is the bottom line. I favored a striker. I needed a striker. This is why you don't want to think critically. Oh, but you never wanted Samu. Yeah, but I wanted a striker. I didn't want Jean Felix. And if you're getting Jean Felix, then we have to figure out a way to use him. And our manager has not. He said that the only way you can use Jean Felix is when as a substitute to Cole Palmer. We can't have both of them playing together. I'm sorry. And I get that. I get it. We're in this transfer window now. And we need to fix up. I'm not saying go out there and make whole heap of transfers, but correct some mistakes immediately. Okay, if Renato Viga is a mistake that you want to correct, no problems. But this time, if you do go out there, you do realize we don't have a left back cover now. You do realize that, ladies and gentlemen. Cucurella is the only left back we have. How have we come to this situation? You can't keep Renato Viga when the player wants to leave. You have to let him go now. He wants to leave. He doesn't want to stay here, and he certainly doesn't want to play as a left back. So how have we come to a situation where Cucurella is the only left back now? How? Mohamed saying Zhao is a good player. No one once is denying the fact that Zhao is not a good player. He is a good player, but he doesn't fit the manager's bill. Ben Chilwell. Kian saying Chilwell. Ben Chilwell. Why hasn't this guy left yet? Some are saying Chilwell back in. Someone saying Chilwell back in. Chilwell. Bro, Rustenberg, brother. No calling. No calling. I'm sorry, no calling. My show. If you don't like it, get out of here, bro. No calling. And OS, you absolute knobhead. You don't seem to understand what I'm trying to say here. You just want to take a few bits and pieces from my conversation and then you want to spin it the way you want to spin it. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to build a squad that can compete for the Premier League. We need to see what the manager wants and how he's utilizing his team, and then give him those players. We're in a situation right now. We've got Bournemouth coming up next. I'm telling you, a lot of the players will be a bit delusioned moving into this game. Look at this idiot, man. Look at this idiot OS. You were literally loving the squad 1 month ago. Bro, you're an absolute idiot. You're an absolute idiot. Go find when I've said, oh, this squad is brilliant. How many times have I been saying there's a B team and there's an A team? Kay Matthews, you're so negative. But all the people that don't want to hear any of this stuff, I didn't send you a personal text to say, come and join me. You can leave. You can leave. Kay Matthews, OS, you can all leave. No one's forcing you to stay here. Saltem, you can all leave. I'm sorry. I don't have time for nonsense people in this live chat. Serious conversations here. Mods, just get rid of all these nonsense. People that want to come here and be a nonsense nuisance, just get rid of them. I have time for them. I really don't have time for any of these people anymore. From the beginning, I've said the summer window. Who was excited about all these players that we brought in? Probably Pedro Neto and Sancho. These are the only two players that I really was happy about, excited about. Right, someone get rid of this Saltem guy, man. I'm sick and tired of this guy's comments as well. Flip-flop. Give me one example where I flip-flop, you dumb nuthead. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this. I got no time for all of this nonsense today. I don't have time. They're more interested to argue with me. They're more interested to see Chelsea where it is. It's a problem if you want excellence. It's a problem these days. It's a problem for speaking the truth. It seems to be a problem. You look at the summer transfer window that we had, ladies and gentlemen. Majority of us were not happy. Please, majority of us were not happy. Ishan, hold on, brother. I'll make you a mod. There you go, bro. You're a mod. Just clear out any nonsense people from the live chat, bro. Just clear them out. I've had enough. I don't need these people in my live chat, man. Absolute nonsense. Not a single majority of the fan base were not happy with the summer window. We were all laughing. Besides Pedro Neto and Sancho, you could probably say the rest, what the hell was going on? A lot of us were even saying during our winning period that, yeah, it's good momentum, it's a good habit, but there's flaws. There's flaws, mad flaws. And you know what the crazy thing is? In this window, we were thinking about getting rid of players that are probably clear-cut not in the plans, right? Desasi, Nkunku, Ben Chilwell, Chukwuemeka. It's sad to see Chukwuemeka, he's not part. I know injuries have hampered him, but he could have done with some minutes. But no problems. He's not part of the plan. No problems. Now all of a sudden, Renato Vega. As I said, I've got no issues. Renato Vega can leave as well, but I've got problems with the directors, man. You need to start bringing in players that make sense. Now, I'm not saying go out there and just keep breaking the bank every other day. No, bring players that make sense. Bring players. Enzo Maresca press conference. I don't care. I'll watch it later on. Bring players that fits the manager, that fits the manager's bill. Bring boss defenders. You got the club linked with Mark Gehi. Why? Why another player like Mark Gehi? Why another player like Mark Gehi that's just probably the same level as some of the defenders that we have? Why? Get me a left back that can do similar kind of role as Cucurella. Enzo Maresca seems to like Cucurella a lot. He likes fullbacks to be in that manner. Then get me someone who can be like that. In this window, at least if it's a short-term fix on a loan, get me a striker that can compete. Give the manager ingredients that he can actually use. And then we sit here complain, why hasn't Maresca used enough substitutes in the game? Well, he doesn't trust them, man. He doesn't trust them to play his football. Here we go. Now we got people in the live chat that think so highly of Gehi. This is the problem, man. Mark Gehi is going to win us trophies, yeah? Mark Gehi is going to shore up our defense. This is the issue, man. This is the issue. We're going to win. We're going to be in this rut season in, season out. You know, this is the third season under this new ownership. Just to let you guys know, a lot of money has been spent. Just to let you guys know, this is the third season under the ownership, which is a substantial amount of time. A substantial amount of money has been spent. And you're getting excited about Mark Gehi. You're getting excited about Mark Gehi. This is the problem. This is the problem, man. This is the problem. This is the problem. You know, we are winless in 4. We are winless in 4. And some of the losses that we had were proper shellacking, proper getting done by the opposition. We got Bournemouth next. Bournemouth are not some sort of a Mickey Mouse club, you know. We shouldn't have beaten them last time around. The time when we were winning is we were outscoring the opposition. You think we're going to go out there and outscore Bournemouth? Bournemouth are unbeaten in 8. Bournemouth are unbeaten in 8. And we haven't won in 4. We're going to outscore Bournemouth, yeah? Bournemouth's gone around beating proper teams in this Premier League. And it's not even about Bournemouth. It's not even about Bournemouth. Some of you lot, you want to be in the top 4, yeah? You want to be in the top 4. Correct? Nottingham Forest is ahead of us. They have a striker that can bang in goals. Now, I'm not downplaying Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson, I actually like him. But we need someone to compete with him. We need something different so that Maresca can utilize from the bench. Right now, Maresca only has Mark Gue to utilize from the bench as a striker. Mark Gue is not the answer at the moment. Yeah, we can take our time and nurture Mark Gue to be a good striker, but right now you need someone else to help Nicholas Jackson out. Nicholas Jackson could definitely go through a patch of, games where he doesn't score. That's when you need someone to come in. Nottingham Forest has Chris Wood, who's an out-and-out striker. And if it's not Chris Wood, then they've got what's his name? Onyewenyi, the Nigerian brother, I believe. Then they've got robust wingers, direct wingers. Elanga, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, I'm not saying, bring back Callum. No, I'm not that. What I'm saying is, you see the way they're moving. You see the way they've recruited. Morgan Gibbs-White. Robust. Ione, that's it. Ione Shervin. Newcastle are just a point behind us. And they're the form team in the league. Ola Aina, another top shout for Nottingham Forest. Murillo, strong defender. Newcastle, just 1 point away. 1 point. You realize the margin of error is so slim now. This is why I'm upset that we need to help Enzo Maresca out for the second half of the season. This is why I'm upset. We're not doing enough to help this manager out, and we just expect this manager to just work miracles. Newcastle, have a look at their midfield, man. Joe Linton, Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali. Look at up front. Isak, striker. Wow. Gordon. Look at their defenders. We as a fan base want top 4 when we're not equipping ourselves with top 4 quality. Man City, with all of their problems that they've had, they're only 2 points away, Man City are 2 points away with all the problems that they've got. And now they're strengthening. Next time we play them in about a couple of weeks' time, they'll have recruitments ready by then. Aston Villa. So many teams. Besides Spurs, we can't seem to beat any other big teams. We can't seem to beat Arsenal. We can't seem to beat Liverpool. We didn't beat Nottingham Forest. This is why I'm saying, stop messing about now, man. Stop messing about. Start building a squad. It's not that difficult. You can flip those players for profit as well. You can. This doesn't have to be a stock market, you know. It doesn't have to be a stock market. You can flip those players. Bring me a striker that can compete with Nicholas Jackson. You can flip him in a couple of seasons' time. No problems. Flip him for profit. But bring me a striker that can compete. Bring me some midfield cover. God forbid something happens to Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez, we're done for. Romeo Lavia we can't rely on. Give me some midfield cover. Wingers. With Mudryk potentially banned down the track, find me a winger that does what Enzo Maresca wants. 1v1 quality. Direct. Shooting. We have certain players that have poor shooting technique. Why? Why? We have a striker in Nicholas Jackson who's not the greatest when it comes to shooting technique. How crazy is that? A striker that has poor shooting technique. Defenders. Stop with the Desarcis, Buddy Shields, Tossens. Anselmino is okay, but that's not the answer. Get me a defender that can actually defend, can lead a defensive line. Goalkeeper. Give me a goalkeeper that commands respect. It's mad, man. It's mad. I literally just went through the entire spine. And this isn't an issue now. This wasn't just an issue during our winning streak. This wasn't just an issue. This has been the issue ever since the new owners have taken over. They've had ample time to build up a nice squad with the amount of money that we've spent, and we've not done so. Yet the fan base will come here and they want to argue with me. But argue with the owners and the directors and the manager who's sending us messages on a regular stating that certain players can't play all the time because that's not how he operates. I've seen some comments here. I think it was Felix that said, why doesn't the manager utilize Cole Palmer on the right? I'm sorry, brother. That's not how he pictures Cole Palmer. If that's what you want from the manager, you are asking for a different manager. We as a fan base need to understand, do we want this manager or not? That's number one. Do we want this manager? Yes or no? If you want the manager, then you have to accept what he wants to do. Because no point in having a manager, then you want him to do things that he doesn't believe in. This manager sees Cole Palmer more important through the middle. He doesn't see Cole Palmer on the right. He doesn't see that. He wants his wingers to be hugging the touchline. He wants his wingers to be 1v1 and then taking players on. Think before you comment. What you need to do is, okay, Cole Palmer plays through the middle. All right, no problems. Let's have one backup. Backup in the sense maybe someone like Chukwuemeka who could have played those odd minutes. And let's not worry about João Felix and Nkunku. Let's give him something else. Let's give him a striker. Shervin, Miz, I disagree. Managers need to be flexible enough to have a plan B and plan C in case of injuries or poor runs of form. Maresca is way too one-dimensional. I'm sorry, I disagree. He is flexible. He is flexible. Look at the different formation variations that he has. Look at the way he builds up. He builds up with a 2. He builds up with a 3. He is flexible. What he's not flexible is with his ideology. He can't be flexible with his idea. He pictures Cole Palmer as playing someone through the central areas. I'm sorry. Most managers are like this. If you want the manager to have, look, he's here to set plan A first. He's here to embed plan A. He's not here to implement plan B and C. He's not here to do that, because or else he's lying to himself then. The day when he starts drifting Cole Palmer from the middle to the right, he's going away from his thought process. He's going away from his philosophy. That's the day he'll probably put his hand up and say, I'm leaving the football club. I'm sorry, Shervin. In that case, you want a different type of a manager. You don't want the modern day managers. They have their set rules and principles. This is how they play. And I tend to agree to a certain level. Cole Palmer is not at his lethal best on the right side. He's not someone who's equipped for 1v. And if you're going to play Cole Palmer at the right side, then you need overlapping fullbacks. And that's something Enzo Maresca doesn't do either. He doesn't do that. Not on a regular. Once or twice, I think he's done that, depending on the opposition. But he doesn't do that on a regular. You can play Cole Palmer on the right, but you then need to give him some support so he can cut in. Cole Palmer's not going to whip in crosses with his right foot, or he's not going to like inverted cross. And you want Cole Palmer in the box. You do want him close to the box so he can score goals. You do want Cole Palmer to drop in at times and be part of the midfield. You want to play Cole Palmer on the right to fit in João Felix. Think about it from a logical standpoint as well. Think about it from a logical. Now you're going to have two players. You have two players that you need them to work so hard off the ball. Can both of them show enough defensive qualities to help us out off the ball? I get what Enzo Maresca says. It does create an imbalance. Noni Madueke, when he plays, he works hard. He tracks back. Sancho in recent times started to track back. Can João Felix and Cole Palmer, both of them, promise to consistently track back? That's a bit risky. He could have done that if we had better 1v1 defenders. He could have played with a Cole Palmer and João Felix if we had Virgil van Dijk behind us. Konate and Virgil van Dijk behind us. Then you can play with a Cole Palmer and João Felix. No problems. Look at the way Liverpool got Salah, Gakpo, Luis Diaz. You know why? Because they got Virgil van Dijk, they got Konate, they got Robertson, who are very good defenders. Okay, Robertson in recent times been a bit iffy, no problems. But Virgil van Dijk and Konate, 1v1, wide areas they can defend. A lot of the things Maresca is unable to do so is because of the imbalance in the team. Goalkeeper's not good enough. Defenders are not good enough. And then we want João Felix and Cole Palmer to play, so that opposition can rip through us, and then we wonder, why are we conceding goals? Why are we conceding goals? Ryan, spot on here. Palmer's position isn't even a problem. We're sidetracking. We have a shit defense, two bozo goalkeepers, and an almost toothless striker. Exactly. I'm going to get to the super chat very soon. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten the super chat, guys. Haj, we literally started Felix and Palmer against Ipswich, and what happened? Exactly. We've used Felix and Palmer against the shit teams like Leicester and Southampton only, and that's for a good reason. Exactly right. Because those teams are not superior. Felix, I totally understand you, Miz, and I have no go at Maresca by my last comment about Palmer. I ask directors, if you hired and like Maresca's style, why don't you help him with the... Exactly, this is what I'm saying. You get yourself a manager, you then need to help him out. Victor, Ms. Honest question, why would you bring players to fit Maresca who isn't good enough for Chelsea anyway? He's a championship level manager, so club and directors have to call the shots. Well, Victor, what you're saying is Maresca out. That's what you're saying. In that case, why have the directors brought in someone like Maresca? Why? Your question shouldn't be this. Your question should be, why is this guy my manager? Valan, big up to you. Even if the players are not good enough, the system can hide it. Inzaghi's Inter. Onana was the goalkeeper and he looked world class. Maresca's system ain't up. Look, I can't even say that. I don't think Maresca's system is the problem. Maresca's system so far has got us to where we are, if anything. It's not the system. It's about the recruitment now. Yeah, okay, there are certain times you can say a little bit of stubbornness from Maresca, but I don't think Maresca has been one of the biggest problems so far. No. If anything, I think he's been finding solutions to a lot of problems. And now it's got to a point where he's out of solutions, man. What can you can only do with what you have. What are you going to do? You can't just keep performing miracles, man. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. You either have world-class players to cover their abilities or have a manager come up with a world-class system. For example, Tuchel, CFC, or Inzaghi, Inter. Alhambra, big up to you, my man. Heard negative things about Winstonly working style. Stewart said on a podcast he only needs video comps to assess players. My agenda continues. It's mad. Sumu, big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Why our sporting directors don't use their brains? They're too concerned about just flipping players, man. They're just too concerned about get this guy in, let's make 5 million here, 10 million there. And the crazy part is we don't even have a front of shirt sponsorship yet. We don't have a front of shirt sponsorship. Mr. Fenny, big up to you. We need Joe Shields to be the main guy or need him to appoint someone who aligns with his and Maresca's ideas. Joe Shields are on the same wavelength, but no other sporting directors. Mr. Ruben, Ms. Honestly, if we bottle top 4 and bottle Conference League to go trophyless, would you stick with Maresca or give grace and keep him because the directors didn't build a good enough squad? It's on directors now, man. It's not even on Maresca anymore. It's on directors predominantly. Maresca, there's some problems here and there, but I'm pretty sure he'll sort that out. He'll find a solution for his issues. But it's on the directors making sure to give him a squad that he can actually compete with. There's a lot of good players, don't get me wrong, yes, but there's a lot of holes. I've mentioned this all throughout this live stream. There's plenty of holes, and these holes were there all along, even when we were winning. Haj, a system can only paper over the cracks for so long. How about we just sign some good players for a change who can handle match situations? A system isn't the ball end all FFS. Yeah. We are bringing in players that don't have a history in competing in the highest level, besides a few, Enzo Fernandez, World Cup champion for sure. Cucurella, European champion for sure, but there's only majority of them are not part of a winning background, to be honest. And we want these guys to go out there and do big things for us. Now, I'm not saying stay away from all of these up and coming superstars. No, buy some gems, sure, but then fill the other parts with proper winners that can help us to compete. Right now, there's been a lot of mismanagement in money, man. A lot of mismanagement in money. The real Kevin Cam is in regards to Palmer on the right. Surely that allows us to play Felix in the 10. Maresca should try put the most informed players on the pitch together. Noni and Neto have both been poor. As I said, he doesn't believe in that. He believes in players like Palmer and Felix to play through the middle. He doesn't believe in playing Palmer out wide because he's not a 1v1 winger. If you play Palmer out wide, then you need to have a fullback that's going to assist him, to overlap him, give him that option. He doesn't believe in that overlapping fullback position all the time. Some games he believes in that, not always. Predominantly, he doesn't. He likes the fullback to either invert or get into half spaces, whole heap of other madness. He never wanted Felix. He never wanted him. He never wanted him. And he doesn't want Nkunku. So let's give him what he wants. It's simple as. It's simple as. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Let's see what happens against Bournemouth. Till then, we're going to keep up with the news. Let's see what we do in this transfer window. We still haven't had any players go out. We still haven't had any level of little bit of improvement in the team that we can use in the second half of the season, because the second half of the season is going to get crazy. It's going to start getting crazy now. Watch how teams fight for points now. Watch. Every game is going to be a war. Every game. And I just hope that our squad's ready for it. I hope our squad's ready for it. Every game's going to be a war. You think it's going to be a walk in the park against Bournemouth? Yeah, think again. You think it's going to be a walk in the park against Wolves after that? Think again. Every game is going to be a war now. Let's see if we're up for it. All I ever wanted was give a squad that the manager can compete with. That's all I ever asked for. Stop this stock market attitude. Do the stock market once you have some level of stability. Do all of these stock market shenanigans once you have a team that's competing on a regular. We don't have a team that's competing, and we're doing stock market business, and our fan base is getting happy. Oh, 5 million there, 10 million there. Come on, man. Come on. Smash up the like button, guys. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll catch you guys soon.